Okay folks, right then, so today give myself a little bit of a break from that skull, but anyway, if this is your first time here, my name is Lloyd Cannon and this is my new YouTube channel, and I'm going to be teaching you today how to do these stars. Okay, so here we go. Now what you're going to need is you're going to need some white paint. In this case I've got titanium white. Like I said, I use System 3. Now you're going to want some nice fluorescent colours to do what we're doing here. So I've got fluorescent green, fluorescent pink, fluorescent orange. I love these colours. And I'm just going to show you how I work in these stars and give the washes of colour to show you how it works and show you what I mean by washes of colour. Now people say to me, how do you do these circles? Well, there's a CD. Basically you're going to need to find anything that's round. Got there, which is a little pellet tin. So if you can find something that's round and something with a good edge, you want something with a decent edge, make sure there's no lumps or no bumps, because the idea is when you're working on these, which I've been working on this paint for ages, so I've just sort of brought it out again, and it's like, okay, let's do a little bit more to it. And it's a good opportunity for me to show you how I actually do these stars. So what we'll do, I think that I'm going to put one about there. Okay, so to start off with, I've got 2 little tubs of water. So I like to rub my painting down with water. So there you go. Now what I want to do, I want to water some of that paint down really low, so it's like an ink. Okay, now the trick to do these stars is to not use too much paint, because when you've got a lot of paint on there, you've got to smudge it around and it's going to go somewhere, and you want to do lots of small layers, and the idea is that you want to build up the layers. Okay, so it is literally a process of you add a layer, which I shall show, let it dry, add another layer, let it dry, add another layer. And the brighter you want your stars is the more layers of paint it's had, basically. So like say for instance here, if I wanted to make that, I don't even know if it will show up on this camera, but if I wanted to make that brighter, but you can see from here. To make that even brighter, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to give that another little coat of white. Like that. Now it says on the paint titanium white, but if you're going to paint something on top of this, if you actually want it to be titanium white, you've got to chuck on the layers, and every time you chuck on a layer it's going to come back a little bit brighter, and that's how you build up the layers. So all these here, they've had a wash of colour, and I'm just going to keep building it up. Now, I'm just going to explain what we got. Let's chuck some orange in. Colours excite me. I love colours. Fucking springtime's just like amazing. It's got all the colours, all these flowers, and oh god, I love it. So anyway, we've just squirted off some paint. Let's get some brushes sorted. Now I've got one of these, like a little sword shaped brush, which I'm just going to use just to apply some of the paint. Now I've just got some colours. Now first thing I want to do is you add some water to the blobs of paint and you wash it down till it's like really, really watery. Like say for instance there, I want a bit of orange in that, and I've just rubbed that down. Look at that. Just literally just apply. Oh god, that looks gorgeous. A little bit of orange there. As you can see, that's just made it look lovely. Now if you want that bit in the white, you gotta wait for it to dry and apply a bit more white. So the way that I do it is I literally just go around the whole painting, giving it all washes of colour. Bit more orange there. God, that looks gorgeous. So I'm just adding washes of colour. Now it's like an ink. So I'm going to add that to that as well. Why not? Love it, love it, love it. And also, that one there, let's just have a quick check. Alright, let's work on this. So this is just a little wash. It is really, really watery. And I'm going to add that to there. Whoa, look at that, baby! And likewise with everything else, you know. By using thin layers of paint rather than thick layers of paint, your paint lasts forever, man. It's great. So you just keep adding inks, but then what I will do on top of that is I'll let that dry, and then I'll go on top with the white again, with my liner. So that orange will still be in there. And then once you've done it white again, you can go ahead and chuck another colour on it. And it just keeps building it up. You've got to try this. You know, it's not hard. Tiny little washes of colour. Now I've got a little fluorescent pink here. Fluorescent pink. Oh, look at that. How amazing is that? So imagine right there that you have a painting. And you wanted to just make it all multicoloured, which is what I like about psychedelic art, is because there's no limits. And all the colours that you can use. Is you can just go over and give it all washes of colour. I mean, you know, like let's make that put a wash of colour on that. The beauty of this piece is it's like I'm at a real cool stage with this painting. It's called the stage where you don't really care. Which is an exciting stage in your creativity, because when you get to the point when you think, ah, fuck it, you'll go ahead and you'll do something, and then you'll learn something. Because sometimes, I know what it's like, you're going to find it difficult. You're going to go, oh, I don't want to put any colour to that. Look, you know, but just give it a go. I remember ages ago when I was painting metal, I had to paint a bit of blue on there. And it took me ages to paint a bit of blue on there, and I think I did about 3 paintings where I didn't even add any blue, because I was like, I didn't see any blue in the metal, but I couldn't understand the reflection. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta just go for it. I think it's only a painting. Hold on. Okay, that's a lovely little colour, and that is me fluorescent orange. We're just adding on the layers. Oh, I love that. Okay. Right, so I need to go and put another one here now then. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put one. Let's have a little think. Where are we going to put one? I'm going to put one there, right? Now what I do, I use a variety of different brushes for a variety of different reasons. Some of them, but in this case, what should we do? Now there's a couple of ways that you could make that circle on there. One is you could actually apply a little bit of paint all around the edge and literally print it on, pull it away, or you can hold it there, get a brush with some tiny bit of paint and go around the edge. You know, I do both. With this tin here, this has got a really good edge, so it actually might be worth doing that. But regarding the CDs, see, when you do a CD one like that, first thing you want to do is you want to put your CD there. You want to mark a dot where the middle is, because that's going to be the middle of your cross. And then you want to get your brush watered down white paint go around the edge. Okay, and it's not going to be like that, it's going to be a fine layer, but we're going to build up the layers. Right, so let's start one there then. Trying to decide. Okay, I think doing it that way would be a good way. So, oh shit, paint it. Oh god, paint everywhere. Paint everywhere. Right, let me just sort this out. See, that's what happens. You just get everything covered in paint. And I don't know, you know, if you like me, if you're an artist, you like me. Most of my clothes have just got paint on them, and it's come bad really. And then also I go out and buy some new clothes, and I'm like, I'm not gonna paint in these clothes, and then I end up painting in them because you just can't help it. You think, oh, just walk by me paint, you think, oh, I'll just quickly do that, and then before you know it, you've just got a little bit of paint on your top and your jeans, and then it just goes. The rest of your clothes is covered in paint. But you know, it's always going to be like that because you're an artist, so just get used to it. Simple as that, really. Right, I want to use a different brush now because that way. In fact, I want to try something. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the edge, because this is a tin lid for some pellets. So I like to shoot targets with pellet gun. Can't kill any animals and crap. I can't be dealing with it. So anyway, so I'm painting the edge with some watered down paint. Just run my finger around the edge there. Now this might not work sometimes, but I'm just going to go do that. Press and release. Boom, got a circle. That'll do. Right, so we've got a circle. I've got a little tin here. Just water this down. And it's the same if you've looked at any of my previous videos, it's the same with like when you do the hexagons and stuff like that. We're going to do a cross. Right, I'm just going to smudge that in there. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Now what you've got to remember is when you first try these stars, they ain't going to look very bright, because you've got to get to the point where you realise that you've got to chuck some paint into them in order to make them look bright. So, like for one individual star, you're not going to do it in 5 minutes, you're not going to do it in 10 minutes. You know, you're just going to do it over a period of time. Keep going back to it. Going back to it. Now it's important, so I've got that basically, but have a look. Right. Try and get some crosses in there. And then also you want to define these a little bit more in some, because what we're going to do, I shall show you, is it on the piss? Love it. So at this stage we're just defining lines against this complicated background. Okay. So this is the start. Work on that a little bit. Because what we're going to do is we're going to add washes of colour to this. Now when, like I said, when I apply my paint, I always twist it. Try to get it into the tip of my brush. And what you also got to remember as well is that when you dip your water in your brush, you're going to get water along your brush, and then you're going to go like that, and you're going to get a drip which is going to come down, and it's just going to piss you off. You're going to get that, so you've also got to be aware of your drips. There it is. So I'm working on this star right there. And obviously, you know, that style, these stars here, these had quite a lot of work. You know, but once you've got your paint in there, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Look at that, chuck a bit of white in there. And whenever you're working on your bits of paintings, and you've got like a bit of fluorescent, go ahead and chuck it in there, because the more you chuck on, the brighter it's going to get. So if your painting looks dull, don't be afraid to continue with it and work on it. You know? Alright, so that there. You can see that with the shines, you put something like that. Now at the moment that looks pretty okay, but it doesn't matter because we're going to give it a good old wash over with colour. First we've got to dry that. So, quick blast with the hairdryer. Dry! Happy days. That's why I like using that, you know. You put on thin layers of paint like an ink, and it's going to be alright. Now, so what I want to do, I want to chuck in some colour there. So I've got me little sword liner. It's not a sword liner, it's a flat edge brush. And I'm going to apply some fluorescent pink, watered down big time. So it's like really watery. Just chuck that in there, look. And if you can imagine, like on a camera filter, and you know, you can filter in colours, it's the same principle there. Okay. So I'll just make that bit pink. Now, whilst my brush is pink, you might as well chuck a bit of pink on here. That's what you do. You keep going back to it. You know, you keep adding on the layers till it looks right. But by doing these psychedelic pictures means that you can really go to town with your colours. Like I said, the principle is let it dry and then add another layer. See, I've got a bit of orange there, but what you've got to remember is that if you want the colour to stand out, you put a white background in, i.e. that cross. It'd be like painting on a clean sheet of white paper where it would be really, really bright, you know. Right, I'll get the oil dryer. So there. So you can see I've just put a wash on the colour, but because the paint is nice and thin, I'm not losing the picture behind. Now I've sort of just like, I've gone and chucked a couple of videos on my channel here where I'm sort of like, I'm well into pieces. But it's early days yet, and I've got a new phone and that lot going to get it. Because at the moment I've got some pretty dire technology, which is pretty, and everything's full up of space. So I want to get myself a new phone, and I can do a lot of it on my phone. So I'm the sort of person, I don't have like all these smartphones, and now I've got like a really crappy phone. Because I like to escape from the technology. Right, so you can see there that I've added a wash of colour. Now I'm not going to go adding white to that until that's dry. So that's dry. So I'm going to add a bit of white. But yeah, so if you find any of this content really good, please like and subscribe, and please actually share it, you know, because this is early days and there's so much stuff that I'm going to teach you. So yeah, if you like and subscribe, and you can also follow me on Facebook, Lloyd Cannon and Lloyd Cannon's Art, and on Instagram, I'm on Instagram as well, at lloyd.cannonart, and I've got a website which is lloydcannonartworld.com. But I haven't got the shopping basket on it yet. It's just a basic site, but if there's anything that you want, I will be updating that. I will be updating that. But if there's anything that you do want, you can message me. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me all on here. you know. And it'd be nice to hear any of your comments as well, because obviously this is a channel that I want to build up, and it's essentially for you lot, really. You know, I've been doing this sort of stuff my whole life, learning, but no one's taught me. I'm all self-taught, and it's just being inquisitive and just wanting to become the best that I can be at painting. Yes, it's become a bit of an obsession, really. But it started as a young age. I just haven't stopped. But I refused to go to state college, pardon me, because I just wanted to do my own thing. I just wanted to explore. I didn't want to go and pay money for someone to teach me. I wanted to teach myself. You know, that way I become the teacher and the student. And I give myself a lot of homework. So yeah. So just remember, these are just adding washes of colour. So if you want that bright white, let it dry. Get your liner out. Add on the white. Which I'm going to do. I'm going to show you on there. Okay, I'm going to get new camera stuff as well. What should we do? So you can see that there. There you go. So we just added that one there. But we want to, that's just a layer. As you can see, this has all been just done by adding washes. And that's obviously added a lot of white, you know. So the principle behind it is just to add the white, add washes of colour, and this is what you create. So it's basically just about giving it a go, you know. You can do it. You can do it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of white to that. I'm going to go ahead and dry it. Where the air dryer comes in. Yeah! There you go. Yeah, we've had a quick dry. Right. So that is now dry. The jacket is now dry. Right. Now I've got my white, I've added water it down, twist your brush, pull it back, so twist and pull it back, nice, so it's like ink. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add another line. Now these stars, these orbs, they're bright, so remember the principle is to keep adding the layers, okay, and just keep working on it. I mean, some of these stars you can just be on them for hours and hours and hours and keep enhancing different bits. And just remember as well that all these little white lines that you add on, you can add another wash of colour to that, and they could be any colour. So there, what do you think of that so far? So we're getting there, and we're also going to add one to here as well. So it's literally a process of just keep adding the layers and keep adding on top. Yeah. But it all boils down to how much time you're willing to spend on a painting. I mean, you can produce something good in an hour, you can produce something amazing in 4 or 5 hours. Imagine what you could do in a week. Imagine what you can do in a month if you keep putting that painting down and keep coming back to it. And that's the only difference with these paintings, is that I keep putting them away and then I'll come back out and I'll keep adding on. But you just got to, you know, I've thrown many paintings away, and at the end it's just like, you've got to learn to just put them away and then just get out another one and just keep that enthusiasm going. See, I've been spending a lot of time on that skull, and it's just starting to just do my head in a little bit. So we'll just get this one out, and it's a wicked opportunity to show you how to do these stars. And it's just a bit of a break. It's a breath of fresh air from the green. Okay, it's just like my own little way, just trying to keep your brain stimulated. There you go. And we're just going to keep working on that. So I'm going to leave you with that. Give it a go. And if you've got any questions, just don't be scared to ask. And I will get back to you. And yeah, if you find any of this content valuable, please like and subscribe, and it'd be amazing if you could share it as well to anyone out there who's willing to learn and give it a try. So you'll be amazed what you can do. So thank you folks, enjoy the rest of your day and take care.